Typically, we have nameplates, but we do not have any nameplates for the Hartford Planning Commissioners. So, Madam Chairman, then maybe at the beginning of the meeting, you just have them introduce themselves, and we just have a very good memory. And you may have to reintroduce yourself throughout the meeting if needed. Start the joint City of Hartford and County Planning Commission.
Good evening. I call to order this joint meeting of the Minnehaha County and Hartford Planning Commissions. And I will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.org site for viewing by the general public. This is the first night that we met with the Hartford Planning Commission, and would you gentlemen please introduce yourselves,
Eric Bartman.
Stephanie Olson, both.
Brad Miles. Mark Anderson.
Thank you. Any final action taken on the City of Hartford comprehensive plan will be automatically referred to the County Commission and the City Council for a joint hearing on Tuesday, July 23rd at or after 9 a.m. That meeting is held in the same room. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? There is nothing under the consent agenda. We'll move on to the regular agenda. We have item number 1, which is the Hartford Comprehensive Plan. Is Teresa Seidel here?
Hello, I'm Teresa Seidel, 302 Emma Drive, Hartford, South Dakota, and I'm the city administrator in Hartford. We're here tonight, like you said, to jointly approve the Hartford Comprehensive Plan. Basically, this is a first step in the process of hopefully getting joint jurisdiction with the county. As you know, Hartford community right west of Sioux Falls, we're a growing community. We've actually been talking about establishing joint jurisdiction.
Point of order, Madam Chair. They're not hearing you on the recording, so speak into the mic.
Okay,
a little
gotcha.
better. Thanks.
Sorry about that. So, like I said, this is the first step in hopefully acquiring joint jurisdiction with the county. We need approval of our comprehensive plan by both planning boards, and then I'll go to our governing boards and so forth down the line. City's been talking about getting joint jurisdiction basically since about 2012. I've been with the city since 2006. We, like I said, have been growing. We've had a nice, steady, consistent growing rate. And we just see this as a step needed. So as we grow, we've had a few annexations in the last few years. So as we grow out and expand our boundaries, those regulations will be in place to hopefully allow for orderly growth, consistent growth, easier to basically meet up with the city standards and the systems. In the long run, it'll be easier to annex city, plus it will be less expensive too for the landowner and the city to actually mesh our systems together as we annex property in and developments grow. We actually have right now 5 active developments within the city, and 2 are right on the edge of town that have recently been annexed. So, like I said, we are growing. We're getting to be a larger community, so we would like to establish joint jurisdiction. Kind of on my memo and the information we provided with the comprehensive plan, we are proposing that this area be what is identified in the comp plan as our major street plan, which is also our growth area. It is at, I think at the largest point, it's only like 1.5 miles out. So we're definitely within the 6 mile, requirement, way under that. We think it's a very conservative growth area, very practical growth area, especially, looking into the future. So we don't cross any equal distance lines with any other community too, so we meet that regulation there as well. Our plan is if, this does get approved by the planning commissions and the governing boards, we will then start working on the regulations. We are looking at following the joint regulations that you have already in place with Del Rapids. So, we can be consistent with it. It won't be confusing for the boards of what regulation applies to this area, what regulation applies to that area. So we'll review their regulations and hopefully have, a uniform document, so it's consistent. And once we get those established, if allowed to move forward, we'll definitely have public meetings too, so we can get the public input for those people that will be affected by that area. We definitely want to work with, our community. We want to get their input, address their questions, see, what can be, worked out the best way for everybody involved. So like I said, our request here is to hopefully approve our comprehensive plan together and then be able to move forward. You have any questions?
Jeff?
I tell you what, I'll support it if you'll just annex the Brower subdivision.
How did I know that would come up? We've had many conversations, and yeah, the Brower addition is, it'd be great. It's an industrial area. We love to have industrial land, but that's kind of a good prime example, Jeff. If we had maybe had some joint regulations in place, there's some issues out there with the infrastructure, and had we had some regulations in place when that was started, it would be much easier to annex them in now than what is out there.
And Teresa, you may want to introduce Jesse Funkert.
I do want to introduce Jesse. In the audience is Jesse Fonkert. He is our Chamber and Economic Development Director for the city. And so, he too, works very hard on economic development and growth, and works hand in hand with everybody at the city to see, we have orderly growth.
Any other questions for her? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else here in the audience wish to address this item?
I would ask the Planning Commission members from Hartford if they have any thoughts on this.
Dad, we discussed it in depth in the last probably 2 years of developing our comp plan and our joint jurisdiction boundaries, so. I have no questions, I guess.
Any other questions?
So, to give you a little bit of direction, if you so choose, I have a resolution that I've handed to the chairman. I think she's handed it out to you. I would ask that you approve the resolution, which would take forth or put forth the comprehensive plan to that joint meeting as the chairman referred to earlier. And Madam Chairman, if you'd like, I can read the resolution. It's a page long. It's up to you if you'd like me to read it for the public.
Commissioners, is that necessary?
Should I read that? I'll ask legal counsel.
Okay.
Okay. And before I read that, I think we just need to have a quick clarification whether it's a 3-mile jurisdiction or a 6-mile. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a modified 3-mile area. It's not quite 3 miles in some areas, and it's less in certain areas. And if
I don't think
that's
it goes beyond nothing goes beyond 2.
okay.
I don't think anything goes beyond 1 mile of our city limits, actually.
And then, Madam Chairman, the state's attorney has indicated I should read the resolution for you.
Okay, go ahead,
So
Scott.
I will start. All right, this is a resolution, and it's a resolution recommending to the County Board of Commissioners adoption of the Hartford Comprehensive Plan, the 2017 to 2037, as the comprehensive plan for the joint jurisdiction between Minnehaha County and the city of Hartford, South Dakota. And it reads as follows. Whereas the Minnehaha County Planning Commission and the City of Hartford Planning Commission met jointly at a public hearing held on the 24th day of June 2019, 7 p.m. at the Minnehaha County Administration Building located at 415 North Dakota Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, on request of the City of Hartford to establish a joint jurisdiction area between the City of Hartford and Minnehaha County, and whereas notice of the time and place of such meeting was given pursuant to South Dakota Codified Law 11-2-18 by publication at least 10 days in advance of such meeting in a legal newspaper of the county. And whereas the Minnehaha County Planning Commission and the City of Hartford Planning Commission considered the Hartford Comprehensive Plan 2017 to 2037 and the area recommended for joint jurisdiction as set forth in such comprehensive plan, such area identified as Map 3 Major Street Plan, such area commencing at the intersection of the center lines of 462nd Avenue and 258th Street, hence east along the center line of 258th Street until the intersection of the center lines of 258th Street and Skunk Creek Avenue, hence south along the center line of Skunk Creek Avenue until the intersection of the center lines of Skunk Creek Avenue and Benton Road, hence east along the center line of Benton Road to the intersection of the center lines of Benton Road and 466th Avenue, hence south along the center line of 466th Avenue to the intersection of the center lines of 466th and Interstate 90, hence west along the center line of Interstate 90 to the intersections of the center line of Interstate 90 and 464th Avenue, hence south along the center line of 464th Avenue to the intersection of the center lines of 464th Avenue and 261st Street, hence west along the center line of 261st Street to the intersection of the center lines of 261st Street and 462nd Avenue, hence north along the center lines of 462nd Avenue to the intersections of the center lines of 462nd Avenue and 258th Street, as shown on the map attached, Exhibit A, entitled Map 3 Major Street Plan, included in the Hartford Comprehensive Plan 2017 to 2037, and therefore, in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 11-6-10, the Minnehaha County Planning Commission recommends that the Minnehaha County Board of Commissioners adopt the 2017 to 2037 Comprehensive Plan and the area recommended therein for joint jurisdiction as set forth in such comprehensive plan, such area not to exceed 6 miles and not to exceed beyond a line equidistant from the corporate limits of any other municipality having a planning commission. And that is dated at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, this 24th day of June, 2019. And then subsequently, each planning commissioner shall sign the attached form.
Thanks, Scott. Becky?
Could we see the map? Could we see the map? And I don't know, it references the comprehensive plan, and I don't recall, did I receive it and miss it?
I forwarded the comprehensive, it's quite a lengthy document, and I only had it electronically, so I did forward it to you electronically. And,
Has a map?
yeah. We can put it on the overhead, Teresa, and show it on the, if you'd like.
Madam Chair, while we're waiting here, I
Yeah.
just would say, I think this, in years coming, might be a pretty significant step that we take in the growth of our county. I mean, recognizing that in 1870, there were 100,000 people in Chicago, and in 1970, there were 3.5 million. We don't know what's going to happen, but this could be an important part of how we design our future.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Okay, Scott has read the resolution. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve the proposed resolution and suggesting to the regular county commission the adoption of the Hartford proposal.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Harvey.
We don't need to approve that, anything, do we?
Business or any new business? Do I have a motion to adjourn on the county side?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
To adjourn on the city side?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Them both, yes,
Thank you.
yeah, they're all the same. I would sign that one.
Yeah.